bite of chicken. Hello, ni hao, xin chào, whatever else your greeting of choice may be, from Ba Vang Pagoda, Uong Bi, Quang Ninh, Vietnam. It is currently the Chinese National Day holidays, and as I am on a Chinese holiday schedule, that means that I and I alone in my family currently have the day off, which gives me the opportunity to come out here to the countryside, to the hills, to do a little bit of trail running. In which vein, I planned out a route that starts from this temple, because this temple has a car park, and I can put the bike there and not have to worry too much about it. Unfortunately, I think the start of the route is in a part of the temple that is currently locked off, so I'm not entirely sure how I am supposed to get there. So my nominal start point might actually be in a blocked off part of the temple that's only for monks. I'm not entirely sure. Just taking a little bit of a circuitous route around this way to see if maybe I can get access to it further down the road. I'm still hopeful. I've got some alternative plans. But yeah, first off, let's just see where this leads, because I don't massively want to climb up that hill and start from up there, but it is an option if that's what's required. Before we get to the start, Coffee Me from a few days later, would just like to jump in and say that I will be interjecting throughout this video because conditions were a little bit too bad at points for recording. Alright, that was a reet mish, but I found the start, so time to get this bad boy on the way. So we are underway. As I'm sure you can see, it's a little bit rainy right now, it's a little bit windy, it's very overcast, so I apologise in advance because there will be water on the lens of my camera throughout this run. I will do my best to wipe it off, but sometimes it goes unnoticed and sometimes I just don't have anything dry to wipe it off with. Guess I'll start by outlining this loop. So I've planned for myself around about 14k little sort of loop out and back to the pagoda, temple, whatever you want to call it, which should include a total of around about 600 meters of elevation gain. So nothing insane, but it's not going to be easy work either. Some of the reasons for doing this: one, I like getting out in the countryside and doing some trail running anyway, but two, it's now less than 2 weeks to the Vietnam Jungle Marathon, where I've got to go and run, I think it's like a 47 or 48 kilometer loop with 2,000 meters of vert, which is about twice as much vertical ascension as I've ever completed in any race ever before. So in this last couple of weeks, I'd quite like to do as much climbing as I possibly can to hopefully prepare my legs for the mammoth run that is to come. And then in terms of the premise of this video, it's kind of like a come join me as I run around the countryside, and one of the rare opportunities I get to do so, kind of like just a little update as to how my running has been going recently and what I have coming up in the immediate future. Which is probably a good point to jump in. In terms of how my running has been going recently, having struggled through the long summer and worked hard to maintain some sort of consistency, I have finally started to convert that into some decent mileage. Having run my first 100 kilometer week of the year in the final week of August, I have now run 5 of them, 4 in a row, and made September my first 400 plus kilometer month. So all in all, things are looking good to push on over winter. Alright, selfie stick's broken, so no long distance shots of me running through the countryside. Oh shoot, keep looking at the floor. Am I going down that way? No, I'm going this way. Sorry, map isn't the easiest to read. Obviously I would love to be doing this when it's not raining, but sort of average daily highs are still hovering around the 32-degree mark, and when the sun's up ahead there's quite a high UV index. It's not exactly ideal conditions for long runs out during the day. The only reason it's a tolerable 27 degrees right now is because of the storm front, and because of the storm front we get rain. So you gotta take the good with the bad. I mean, me, I don't mind the rain, I think this weather's wonderful, but it doesn't necessarily make for the best filming conditions. I guess I should also address the altitude thing as well. I said I was trying to get in as much climbing as possible. Specifically, I was trying to hit 2,000 meters total for the week. Another first for me. That was my target because according to the GPX map, there is exactly 2,000 meters of total elevation in the Vietnam Jungle Marathon 50-kilometer course. And everywhere I look recommends you should try to do the same amount of elevation in a week of training as you'll do in the race itself. All right, this trail I planned out is a bit of a mess of interlocking routes, and maybe it's my problem, I don't know. It seems like Coros isn't the best with its navigation of pre-warning you for turnings, so I've missed a few that I didn't even see were there. So God knows if I'm even running in the right direction anymore. I've got to stop and duck under this tree. Might be best to cut this bit out, to be honest with you. Next time I do this route, I'll try and do one lap without the camera so I can concentrate on not getting lost. Anyway, in terms of training, that's about it. Other than to say, I've started marathon training again with a view to racing a late winter marathon, if I can find one. I think this is the route. It's kind of hard to tell. Can't see anything on this screen. Actually, it might be. Does a little right turn up there. All right, we're 4.8k in, 220 meters up. So over a third of the way on both counts actually. And also, because I've missed off a bunch of this thing, my watch says that we're about halfway through. Might just have to do some sort of random trails that don't take me too far away from my intended route. Make up a bit of difference. There's like so many branching trails around here. And I, fingers crossed, I don't think I'm gonna get lost because I mean, I got the map, I got my watch, and I can always just come back the way I came. Oh, I shouldn't have stopped, my knees hurt. After this point, the rain started getting heavier, and I started climbing the main hill on the route. As I got higher, the visibility really dropped, and the wind was quite strong on the more exposed slopes. As such, I didn't get much recording done beyond this point. As you can probably see, visibility ain't great up here. Coros just tried to kill me by directing me off the side of a hill by lying and saying there was a path down there. There wasn't. So that's fun. Checked Google Maps and I'm pretty sure I know the way back now. In fact, I'm 99% certain that this is the hill I ended up climbing the last time I came here, which means it's going to be a very, very steep way down. But yeah, pretty close now. Haven't been taking much video or saying anything because the rain got pretty heavy. It's let up a bit now, but yeah, visibility's way down because I'm up in the clouds. This is, I think, the peak of this hill, so that should be all my climbing done for today. And yeah, it's been fairly pleasant. I'll probably see you down at the bottom for a spot of coffee. Toodaloo. In the end, I couldn't actually find the path down and didn't really fancy searching for it in those conditions. So I just turned around and headed back down the way I came, which honestly was fine by me because it added a bunch of distance and got me close to the 14 kilometers that I had originally planned on running. Anyway, this is just a short video for a short ramble that I made through the countryside. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're headed off to Uong in a couple of days, tomorrow actually, to run the Vietnam Jungle Marathon, which I am crazy excited about. So stay tuned for that video, and I hope to see you next time out.